Alright, now look though. In this video, we finna talk about the seen versus the unseen. Now, there are two worlds. There are two different worlds that you need to know. And there are actually many different worlds you need to know, but that's another topic for another day. Now look, the seen and the unseen worlds. Now look, the seen world is more of the yang, the masculine, what you see on the outside of you and shit like that. So I'm talking about seeing like ass and titties and houses and cars, money, clothes and shit like that. That's the seen world. Now, that's more of the ego, outside expression world. Now, the unseen world deals with more of spirits. It deals more with clues and intuition and mapping things out and seeing the bigger picture. That's the unseen world. In the unseen world, you can see a whole lot of things. You can see people's intentions, people's motives, what people are trying to do. You can see people's thought patterns. You can map people out. You can scope people out before they even scope you in the unseen world. And in the seen world, that's what you express. Now, both of these worlds are good, and it's really a duality. So it's not. I can't really say they're bad nor good, but both of these worlds are pretty manageable on how you like to manage your life. Like, you can be an introvert person, or you can be an extrovert person, or you can be a person who's an ambivert, and whatever it's called, an ambivert, and that's a person who sees both, who see both ways. Like, you can see this way, and you can see that way, and you can hop in this room, and you can hop out this room. So if it was on a spiritual level, you can hop out the spirit realm and you can come back into the physical realm. And if you're a person on the earthly level, you can hop in your internal body, your own personal needs and shit like that. Then you can hop in the external and you can do everybody else shit like that. That's if you're an ambivert, you can hop. If you're an introvert, you may just stay within yourself. You may not talk at all, only when somebody get to know you. And if you're an extrovert, then you're a person who trying to express that shit. Like, you trying to express things, but all right, now look though. Now people who on the now look, I'm gonna tell you how to realize people on the seen world versus the unseen world. Now look, people who are in the unseen world, they wear more dark colors. Like, they may wear not such bright colors. They wear colors like black, colors like maybe gray, colors like dark blues, or this dark colors. They wear more dark colors, basically, as I want to say. And then whatever color they're wearing, it kind of, if you can even get more specific enough, you can find out what part of the unseen world they're in. Some people may be in an unseen hell world. They may be seeing, these the type of people who are more manipulative, to always want to steal and grimy and slimy and stuff. And you may see these people wear black. Now, these people who wear black, you need to watch out. You don't need to watch out for them. I don't want you to get scared of people who wear black, because people who wear black are not always bad. But if it's a negative, if that person is negative all the time and they wearing black, then you need to watch out, because they're a negative person, and they deal more with plotting and trying to and they do more scoping and trying to steal and shit like that. So watch out for a negative person wearing black. Now, if a positive person's wearing black, then that's when you should be like, okay, I can trust this person. Even though he do look pretty scary and he's wearing black, I can trust this person. He's more, you know what I'm saying? He's more trustworthy and he wears black, and it feels safe and protective around him. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? Now look, now it's different types of people who are in the unseen world. It's like more like spiritual people, more people who are real in the internal realm. Sometimes some gays are in the internal world because they're well, not some gays, mostly if you're in the feminine, like a gay dude in his feminine, a straight dude in his feminine, Not always though, cause just because somebody's in a feminine don't always mean that it's always a good feminine. Cause sometimes you got the toxic feminine. But that's another fucking video. We gotta really get on the unseen. Now there are, like how I said, spiritual people and people in the unseen world. There are evil people and who go from and operate in the unseen world, deceitful people, negative people, nasty people, and they're like good people. Like if you see a positive wearing black, then that's a good like person, and most likely maybe even spiritual, may have strong personality and shit like that, and they got a lot of shit in the unseen world. Now, we're gonna get back on the scene world with the shit that you can visually see with your eyes and shit like that. These are the type of people who wear more bright colors. These are type that's how you can tell what world a person tapped into. This a person who wears more bright colors and express what world they're on and shit like that. They always wear like whites, bright hot, not hot, like bright pink, um shit yellows and bright baby blues and shit like that. These the when people wanna these are people who want to express to the world. So you may see them wearing those colors and shit like that, and they more they express to the world how they are. But you know what I'm saying. So these people who, you know, like how I said, they express to the world. And then you got the people who are more introverted to the world, and you got people who are both, and they express to the world, and they have their own world. So these are the type of people where you be like, it's like I know this person, but I really don't even know them type shit. A person who's more of an open book is a person who's always on the scene world, expressing with the bright colors and shit like that. A person who is more in the middle of these two worlds of the expressing and the introverted, they wear more dark colors and they wear bright colors. They brighten it up some days, they darken it some days. The colors on their shirt and shit like that. And then they express to people. And sometimes they don't have to express to people. They can rock alone. They can express to people and they don't have to. And the person who's always in the unseen world don't really express to people. And they wear dark colors and shit like that. And like how I said, I'm finna break down the positives and the negatives. Then you got some people who are positive in the unseen world, and some people who are negative in the unseen world. You got some people who express the negativity and the positivity in the ambivert world. That's the expressing world and the introverted world. Then you have people who shit. Then you have people who are in the expressive world. Sometimes they may wear dark colors on that outer world with, you know what I'm saying, they'll wear some shit like it'll be like a dull, like their colors don't really be dark, it be more like bright, but it can be on the negative end. So it can be a red, it can be a bright expressive red, but it can be like, but it'll like their hair, like say for example the clothes will look dingy or some shit, and you can be like, okay, that's not a, they express their shit, but it's probably like messed up in with some way. So the way they express themselves is more kind of can't communicate or some shit like that. You see what I'm saying? So everybody like different when you want to come to that. But that's breaking down something else. But as I want to say though is it's more they can be on the positive end. They can always be giving out negative compliments and shit like that. And then sometimes they can give out positive compliments and shit like that and praises and shit like that. So say for example, a person wearing red, this person can either be on, and it's on the extra world, like the outer world, the scene shit. A person wearing red, you can probably see, you can probably look at them and be like, they're probably competitive. They probably um, playing for keeps. They're probably always trying to. You can do this on when you playing sports. You can be like, okay, this person right here, he has red on. It look like he's the type of person to play for keeps and shit like that. He don't want to pass the ball and shit like that. Then you may see a person wearing blue with a blue sleeve. Look, we get sports now. You can see a person with a blue sleeve or something, and and blue socks, and you can be like, okay, this is a person who likes to share with the whole team. He wants the whole entire team to go to a state championship and like that. He don't want to be the only star in the show. He want everybody to be the star in the show versus this person wearing red. Well, he want to keep everything to himself or some shit like that. Or a person wearing black, he want to keep everything to himself. You know what I'm saying? So you can even use this like colors in sports and shit like that. And you can And what else you can use? Cause now, so we was just talking about the seen versus the unseen. Now we're talking about colors and how certain colors mean shit, and how you can use colors in your life to see like which what you should do and what to do, and how to analyze situations and shit like that, and people, places, and things. Now say for example, you see a house that's bright blue or some shit like that, then you can that'll let you know, okay, this must be a house that's more on they're talking they're the truth, they live in the true life or something like that. So when you walk in their house, you start to see they got a basic way of living. They don't care about having a lot of things and shit like that. It's more about purity and just living authentic lives and shit like that. Then you may have a person and the house may be a darker color. It may be, and then whatever color it is gonna represent what it might need to be. So say for example, it's blue. It's a dark blue, and blue represents the throat chakra. And if it's a light blue, then it represents more truth and spiritual shit, like spiritual nature. It's expressing the truth, like how I said, authentic and stuff like that. This I'm gonna tell you like how the colors go. I'm gonna give you an example. Then you just got, but look though, I'm just give you this, and you can go quiz on your own. But look, in the blue, as bright, they express shit. The dark blue, they probably keep things hidden under the surface. They probably don't speak up in the house. They probably be yelling and miscommunication and shit like that. Because blue deals with the throat chakra. And so in here, it probably be like miscommunication in the house and shit like that. And like how I just said, and just messed up like phones and shit like that. It'll play out where the phones will be messed up because it deals with the throat, and the throat deals with speaking and letting expressing it. So it might be like when they're talking on the phone may be messed up and shit like that. Like, you see what I'm saying? But if it's like a light blue, then communication on the phone is quick and simple. It's not any miscommunication and shit like that. You see how this shit goes? So like you can use these colors on like many different ways. Now I'm gonna break down another way to use these colors on another place. School, for example. Say for example, the school colors are red, and I'm gonna use my school for example. My school colors are red. Like my school colors are red. Now our school colors are red and I think black and gray or some shit like that. Now we can get on the positive ends of these colors, and we can choose how to positively express these colors, or we can choose the negative way of expressing these colors. So since it's red, we're in the negative. So my school is in the negative end of expressing these colors. So they're going to experience more sexual, because red, we're dealing with red, and red is more like sexual energy, lust, negativity, yelling, fighting, and screaming, and shootings and shit like that, and bad reputation and shit like that, because that's red, and that's dealing with the negative part of red. And so when we're going to be showing out to the public in a negative way, because we're now, if we were on the positive end, they would be showing how I don't want to say creative, but I want to say how ambitious we are. Because say for example, the school colors are red, so the news and people would be like, oh yeah, this school is the most ambitious school with a little bit of stuff and things like that, or this school right here is the school that parents need to send they kids here, like to learn more funly, because red deals with passion and shit like that. But we'll everybody at school won't be happy, and since it's a negative end, and since the red is on the negative end of the spectrum, it's like you got early pregnancies and shit like that. And the red is a bad color to even put on the school like that with negativity already, because the colors around the school just gonna enhance what's going on. So if it's red, then it's gonna keep enhancing. It's gonna keep enhancing. So the more fights and shit happen, the more fights they keep coming. More fights keep coming. More fights keep coming. More fights keep coming, because we have this red energy around our goddamn school and shit like that. So we got red on the walls. We got red doors. We there's no sunlight coming in. Nothing to brighten it up. Then more fights gonna keep coming, and then it's getting colder too. The weather getting colder and shit like that. So more fights just keep coming, because it's fucked up. For real, nigga.